What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of the GZ Chop Shop Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Greg, joined by my good friends and co-hosts for this week, Yuli and Ty. We got a full panel because we got some stuff we got to talk about. We got some things we got to get off our chest. We had Gamescom happen, so there's tons of releases about that, but we got to talk about Battlefield 6. I'm pretty sure we got to play the beta. The beta has been amazing. It's been a really, really great time. Amazing. Like, I'm loving what EA is crafting with Battlefield 6. It seems like they learned from Battlefield 2042 and they're like, all right, we're not going to repeat those mistakes. But then here come the competitive streamers onto the scene, and it's been ridiculous. It's a lot of back and forth. The COD community, the competitive streamers, they're all coming in and they're like, oh, well, where's the battle royal? It's got to need a battle pass. This game is going to die, yada, yada, yada. And they don't get it. I don't think they get it. There's so many things that are just wrong with what they're saying, but I know you guys have had some thoughts on it, and I'll share my thoughts after you guys. What do you guys think? What do you think?
Oh my God. All right. First off, we're not gatekeeping Battlefield. All right. It's for everyone. We appreciate you all coming in. You just got to remember, you got to play your roles. Everybody that's complained that I heard is they don't want to play their roles. You want to be assault, but you want to stay in the back. But okay. But you got to push in. You're the forward person. Your support. Heal, throw down a med pack, res people up. Don't say like, why am I playing a healer, and be like, why am I not healing people? Why is no one healing me? It's because you're not doing your role. No one's going to do their role for you. It always happens. You have squad mates. You see one person not doing their job. You're not going to help that person. That person is dead to you mid game. Just play your role. We're not gatekeeping it from you. We're just telling you it's not like other games. We play as a team. We win as a team.
Problem with that whole statement, right? People are acting like this is a brand new IP. It's not. Battlefield's been out for ages now, right? You can't tell me all these people have never touched a Battlefield game, never seen a Battlefield game, and did not know this, right? The problem lays into we have this mindset where everybody thinks they are a top tier streamer or a top tier competitive player, and they need that. And it's like, I don't care. Like, Battlefield was never meant for that. It's 100 people on one field going. It is a shooting simulator essentially, right? Because you have to take in so many different factors: wind, bullet drop, distance, everything else like that. Like, you can't just go do a 360 no scope in Battlefield. I mean, well, let me change that. You can do that, but it takes a lot more effort than...
Yeah, you'll probably have a building dropped on you while you're trying.
Cool, that's fine. And then people are like, oh, where's all the score streaks? I mean, just hop in the tank. Nah, that ain't the same. What? You can literally hop in the tank and just go do it, bro. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah, and there was a video that you put in our chat, Yuli, by King Nerd. I keep wanting to call him King Nerd. Just seems easier to say. And I had to agree with most of what he was saying, and it's a lot of these big streamers that they know they have pull, they know they have influence because they were on the competitive scene. The thing is, they don't want to let go of that luster they had when they were in their prime. So battle royals is where they thrive. You got Tim the Tap Man, Nick Merckx, XQC, if people actually can understand what he's saying half the time. And they are coming in and they're like, the game needs a battle pass, the game needs battle royal. And they're basically saying for them, like, they're not really considering the Battlefield community as a whole. The game is over like 20 years old with over 13 entries. There's a reason it keeps going. It's because it doesn't need that. And if they were so adamant about Battlefield needing Battle Royal, why are they not playing Firestorm?
Not even that. If now all of a sudden it needs a Battle Royal mode, like, where were you with 2042? Where were you with Battlefield 1? Where were you with all these others? Battlefield 5, right? Where were you with all these other ones that were quite literally 50 versus 50 and essentially just a battle royal with revives? Like, y'all just now getting into it because y'all are more concerned with, and I still laugh at this comment, the Black Ops 7 reveal, sorry, not 6. The top comment on the video is, well, this just made my Battlefield purchase solidified.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing. I think the problem is they've all together, all of them, every COD streamer out there that everyone knows by face and name, they have diluted Call of Duty so much they're bored with their own product. They at this point they're like, okay, we've made COD bend the knee so much it's not even entertaining for us or the fans anymore because they'll do whatever we want. So we need another IP that'll bend the knee, and they're trying to inch their way in to Battlefield because now there's so many of them on COD, they're competing not only with each other, which is not what they want, because then they're no longer dominating, because now they're like, oh crap, I got to compete with another person that's on my skill level. That's not entertaining when I die, and then I got to constantly play it off. So let me go into this game I usually don't play, try to come in as this dominator, but now you're in a game that's about teamwork, support, playing your role, not how many kills you get and how cool you can make it look. And then when you get your 30, 40, 50 kills, one death, but your team still lost because you didn't play your role, you want to say, oh, well, this is bad. This is why it needs a battle royal. No, you need a battle royal because that's what you do. And I get it. Hey, make your money, make it however you can. But there's other games out there that you could be helping elevate that are battle royal centric.
Yeah, no.
No, I mean, we know this. A lot of games have been coming out with battle royale. Halo came out with a battle royale.
And look what happened there.
Splitgate. We saw the video. It mentioned Splitgate. I forgot Splitgate had a battle royale.
Yeah.
They rolled it back. Battle royale is not a winning formula, only for certain games. Warzone won it, but Warzone was only good because they had Blackout to kind of like take notes from. And I still think Blackout is the better battle royale when it comes to Call of Duty. That one was extremely fun. I think that you can have a battle royale in Battlefield. We had it. We had Firestorm. It was fun. The formula doesn't mix with the gameplay very well, but it was still fun. But you can still have it. Just, we know what's going to happen. It's going to come out. It's going to have Firestorm version 2. You're going to play it for a week, maybe a month, and then drop it because Warzone dropped season 17 or whatever. And then you're just back into that. And then you're back into Fortnite as well. It's like there's few games that Battle Royale will work, and then there's some games that won't. This is one of those where the formula can fit and could work, but it won't mix with the crowd. It isn't, because the crowd is clips, 30-minute videos of things happening and just entertainment nonstop. Battlefield is entertainment nonstop if you play your role. I'll watch a video of someone playing 30 minutes support, just running around with a defib healing because it's fun. Watching them do their role and healing, and you'll see that the top players aren't the players with the most kills or the most deaths. It's the player that did their job the best. They got the points. They took objectives. They got all the reses, or they took out tanks and they took objectives. They did their job. They knew what they were supposed to do, and that what made it fun. Recently I was playing with people who only play Call of Duty, and I had to teach them. It's like, hey, Chris, you're engineer. Don't tell me to do a tank. I'm support. You're the engineer. You have an RPG. You have the blowtorch. Go out, handle the tank. And once they started learning their roles, the game was so much more fun for them because they knew it's like, oh, I'm not here to beat the other team into submission. I'm here to make sure we win by doing our job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made the game fun for us.
And I think that's something that's lost on a lot of players that also adapt the fellow competitive mentality of the streamers as well, is because, I was on social media and I was just curious. And it seems like the majority of people who are Battlefield fans are, feeling the same way. They're like, look, it doesn't need it. It works. Just let us have a game that doesn't have rankings, that doesn't have all this extra stuff. Just we want to just jump in. We want to play with our friends. We want to win. We want to lose. We want to learn stuff. And then we just go on about our lives. If we put it down for a few months, no biggie. If we come back in a week or so, great. But a lot of I guess you could say they might be Call of Duty, they might be Fortnite players. They're like, well, what am I logging in for if not to earn my rank? What am I logging in for if not to be at the top of the food chain? And it's like,
bro, you
log in for fun. A lot of people have forgotten what the whole purpose of video games originally was, because everything has catered to the competitive nature of video games. And they feel that FPSs all have to be this try hard sweat fest that they've seen online. And it's like, but no, because a lot of FPSs back in the day were single player games and they were phenomenal. And if they weren't phenomenal, FPSs wouldn't even have thrived today. It was the single player FPSs that are the cornerstone for what FPSs are today.
Oh, one of my favorite FPSs is Bulletstorm, and that was a solo campaign heaven. Like, the problem that I have with it is that so many people, and unfortunately, part of it is because it's EA. So many people think they can bully EA because EA has been bullied plenty. And like, just look at the last 10 years. Like, look at Titanfall, right? EA got bullied out
Rest
of
in
making
peace.
Titanfall 3 for
For
Battle
Apex.
Royale. And then Apex got bullied by the streamers to do what the streamers wanted. And then when the streamers didn't like it, they're like, oh, y'all didn't listen to us. Y'all not catering to us anymore. And now look, we're watching it slowly die. Let EA, for once in their life, do the good thing that they're working on and leave it be. Like, leave them alone with it.
And I don't want to take anything away from content creators and streamers. I get it. Once you've entered the streaming ecosystem and you happen to find that success, you're kind of locked in. Whatever got you that success, you kind of are like, your soul is sold to it. You've got to keep at it. You got to keep up with it. A lot of people are watching you for that game that made you popular. And a lot of them, when they deviate, they find out they lose views. So they wind up having to come back to it. And games that they swore they would never play, they wind up finding out actually did really well. But I do feel that, with a lot of games, you're allowed to have the opinion. Everyone is allowed to have an opinion. But I feel like it more should be like of the game mechanics, not a feature that they might not even want to add because it doesn't add anything to the game for them. And I also feel that while being competitive is a part of gaming, it should not eclipse video games as a whole. And that's a huge, huge issue right now. It seems like a lot of people have lost enjoyment in video games if they can't be competitive. It's like, well, if I'm not logging on and ruining someone's day or getting mad because someone's ruining my day, then there's no point in playing a video game. And I'm like, that's not really the essence of video games. I mean, whatever floats your boat, do you, but don't expect the entire industry to bend a knee specifically to you. Not every game has to be your game.
Right.
Well, not every popular game has to cater to what you want to do.
Exactly.
Like, that's why people are talking a lot about it. It's a popular game. It came back with a fury, but 2042, kind of disappointment, got picked up at the end, but then they announced 6, brought the beta out, and the gloriness, the fun we had. We had just an amazing time. We can't explain it. We felt, I'm pretty sure most of us felt like we were back in like PS3, Xbox 360 days with Battlefield Bad
4.
Company, Battlefield 4. Like, those were the days, and that's the feeling we love.
And that's the whole point. Yo, we're just trying to enjoy the game, like trying to enjoy the moment, catch a vibe. That's it. But so many people are hell-bent on it not being a vibe, it being a skill check, right? Why do I need every game to be a skill check for, oh, this is how you make the most money? Like, part of it is a lot of people don't realize streaming is still niche, right? And for every big name streamer that makes 100, 200, 300K easy in like a stream or so, there's the other 98% that maybe get like 10 people in one stream. So it's like, you can't sit here and be like, oh, well, I can't get those views if this game doesn't have what I want. Like, cool, go to your bread and butter and call it a day. Don't sit here and ruin everything for everybody else, because guess what? This game could end up being that game that gets that person 100, 200, 300K views in a single setting instead of the 10 that they had, because that's the game they wanted to play, right? But y'all want to be selfish and y'all wanted everything to cater to you, which, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm trying to watch my mouth though.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle for sure, because I think honestly, at the end of the day, the biggest problem is we put the competitive streamers on too high of a platform, and they've gotten way too much sway that it's changed a lot of the gaming ecosystem in a way that you like I said earlier, you see a lot of people enjoying video games less and less and less. And it's because a lot of games are foregoing that single player experience. While single player games are coming back, there's still that pushback because a lot of people are like, oh, it's not online, it's not multiplayer. I'm not interested. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but that the rest of us don't feel that way. You
I think
play
it's
what
just
makes
also
you
the
happy.
popularity of the game. So it's like the most popular games are the one with the multiplayer, because when we know that we play, all of us here love our single player games. We play the hell out of it. We see that when we go online to find other forums or other pages for these single player games, there's a lot of love. It's just as much. It's just we get pushed to popularity because that's what the algorithm says. Like, oh, this is getting a lot of views right now. Let me push this out instead of what we want to see. I like going to the Harvestola Reddit and seeing people's productions and how they do everything, or their Stardew Valley productions, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could use that. But for every post I see on those two games, I'm seeing like 6 or 7 Black Ops 7, PUBG, Fortnite posts like it's just what the algorithm is. It seems like it's a lot, but there's still some way that it's just as popular. It's not being pushed because the algorithm says no.
Yeah, and the crowd is usually louder on that side as well. Honestly, I think at the end of the day too, and this is my personal opinion because this is how opinions work, people. It's a validation thing too. A lot of people feel that they can't enjoy a video game unless they're getting some kind of validation out of it. And you only get that validation from other players. And and let's be honest, a lot of people enjoy being trolls, and online games gives you that freedom because unlike when you used to play couch games, your friend was right next to you. You would talk smack, but you were also careful about the smack you talk too, because you didn't want to get too crazy. And that if anyone talked too crazy to you, it was going to be some hands for real. But now, because everyone can hide behind their screen halfway across the world, they're like, yo, I'm all about it. Like, let's get online and ruin some people's day until my day gets ruined.
My
There's a
average
reason
Friday night.
somebody else is laughing.
I'm just saying. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay, for everyone to know, my motto for most of these multiplayer games is I don't care if we win or lose as long as the other team isn't having fun.
And that is why I was sitting here trying not to
Yeah,
die.
Yuli's are baked in
whole
troll.
time.
I'm the baked in troll. Every time everybody's like, damn, we're not winning, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me ruin the other team's day. And I make one thing extremely hard for them just because they get so mad and it's so fulfilling for me sometimes.
Smoke bomb.
And don't worry, he trolls his own teammates as well, so it's equal across the board.
Yeah, it's equal.
Everybody,
it's equal.
But
free for all.
What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think the streamers are right? Do you think they should have a say in these games, or do you think Battlefield is doing fine the way it is, and it just needs to focus on what it's got, and if it adds Battle Royale later, but not as a priority, cool. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So let us know in the comments section down below.
Keep it civil.
Yeah, keep it civil. Keep it civil. Don't
Please
have
keep
any.
it civil.
We don't want to unleash the burn on you.
Yeah, because some of you guys get a little crazy in the.
You guys know Ty.
comments.
Ty is calm right now. Wait till you meet Burn. There's a reason we call him Burn.
Yeah, there's two
Trying to
different
be a
sides.
happy
Y'all don't
person,
want
that's
that.
all.
Y'all don't want that. But Gamescom opened up, and whoo, I was telling you guys, I said my wish list went from manageable back to disgusting in a good way. Not so good for my wallet, but
Good old broke struggles.
it's about to be some broke struggles. But man, Gamescom came out strong. And I know a lot of people are hung up on GTA 6. I'm like, hey, you know what? Whatever floats your boat. But there are so many good games that got announced that are even rolling out before the year ends. Like we were kind of thinking like game of the year was already going to be like all right, we knew these games were going to be in the Game Awards and we thought we had to figure it out. And then there's so many devs that are like, oh no, that's we still got Q4, Q3.
We got fourth quarter.
We still got some games to drop on y'all.
God, who wants to start off with their number one game that they saw that they want?
Okay, well, this one was already announced before, but now that Square has dropped another trailer for it, Final Fantasy Tactics remaster,
right up there.
That chef's kiss, right. Chef's kiss. That is absolutely one of my number ones for sure. And then I didn't even know this game existed, but as a horror buff, when I saw Chronos,
yeah,
I was like, especially since EA dropped Dead Space again, there's that void. And then, Bluebird comes in and they're like, hey, we weren't just done with the Silent Hill remake. We got another gem of a horror game for you. And I was actually watching a YouTuber, the Rad Brad, play it. And I was like, okay, this is looking really good. It's got the Dead Space vibe, but it's still it thing. The monsters are not pushovers. I'm with it. So yeah, that went on my wish list immediately as a horror fan. I was like, yeah, nope, that's going on there. But yeah, with Final Fantasy dropping September, it just bothers me that it's not like September 5th like some of the other games. It's like towards the end of September, and I'm like, damn it.
Hey, that gives you time to save the money, though.
Yeah,
not really.
I got what was it? I told you guys I have like 8 games for September,
in October alone,
and then 8 games for October. That's all games that have been announced.
I got Final Fantasy. No, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, you care about that?" I care about Borderlands 4. I'm getting Borderlands 4. I know I'm getting Borderlands 4.
Which is understandable.
About that game?
And just so he's not getting the collector's edition, folks. He's not getting the collector's edition.
That is.
I am not getting the physical collector's edition that doesn't come with the game.
All right, guys. I feel sorry for whoever got that. It says on the bottom corner of this text does not include game. God, that just hurts so much.
I'm getting Sonic Racing because you know what? I'm a kid at heart. I'm getting Sonic Racing. I don't care.
Doesn't always have to be Mario Kart.
Let me live.
Everybody's that was the other one too. That was like Sonic Crossworlds coming up.
Let Sonic live.
Yeah, Mario Kart is its own corner. That Mario Kart is in its own realm. It doesn't need competition, but we're gonna go over here still.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I miss the glory days of when I would on my PS3 because I still have what was it? All Stars Transform Racing. It was like the last Sonic racing game, and I was like, it was something about it. It was just like amazing to me. And I was like, this is awesome. So when I saw Crossworlds, I was like, okay, they haven't abandoned it. Sega and Capcom, they've been cooking. They have been cooking. And I'm like, let them cook. Let me get on Crossworlds. I will enjoy that even if I lost every single race just because I'm just a fan of it.
Like I told you the last time we did the pod together, Capcom has been like my favorite developer in the last 5 years. Well, no. When did the remake of 2 come out?
Well, that was pre-COVID.
We need to double check that.
Yeah, so 2018, I think.
Yeah, because I was still streaming on Twitch when that happened. I beat the game on Twitch.
Yeah, they cooked with that. 3 was a little bit disappointing. Yeah,
Yeah, they shortened
it. They cooked with 8.
2019.
Pretty much once they had 7, once they dropped RE7, they have pretty much been consistent bangers since RE.
Yeah.
From Capcom. There's a couple little whatever. Like Pragmata, I'm getting that. I think that was the name of it. Pragmata.
Are you thinking Pragmata or are you thinking Daemon Machina?
No,
I'm thinking Pragmata. Daemon Machina is another game I want, but Pragmata is the Capcom game that's coming out with the little girl.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's Pragmata.
Yeah,
that's Pragmata. But speaking of Capcom, I would say that's the horror game that tops Chronos on my list is because of Resident Evil Requiem.
That's on my list.
Goodness, that trailer to gameplay.
Yeah.
Beautiful, fluid.
First person horror game, and they've been doing it so goddamn well.
And they give you the option of third person. That means I get to play with freedom.
You can finally play.
I don't play first person horror. No. But I mean, forget that.
I mean, and to this day, have you actually gone back to 8? They added the third person.
They added the third person.
I know. I haven't touched it. I've watched the video. No. I've seen it played all the way through. No.
I guess, they did it so late.
The baby ruined the whole thing for me.
No, that's the best part. That was the best mission.
I'm not getting swallowed by an infant.
The baby was horrifying.
That was hard. Exactly. That's why I liked it.
I mean, no matter how many times I replay that's horrifying.
Another one that's coming out that I'm so excited, Silent Hill F.
Silent Hill F.
Dude, that one looks so damn scary. I'm like, oh, I'm ready. I am ready to be terrified.
Yeah. And my goodness. And that's at the beginning of the month?
Beginning of the month.
Ninja Gaiden 4. I want to play Ninja Gaiden 4.
Ninja Gaiden 4 looks good. I know a lot of people are on the fence because they said it's not looking like the usual Ninja Gaidens, but that's kind of the point because they're introducing new characters.
That and a lot of people felt away about 3. A lot of people hated 3. 3 wasn't that bad, but a lot of people felt 3 was like a step down compared to 2. 2 was on a pedestal that you can't really top.
The thing about video games too, they suffer from the same issue that movies suffer from. The first movie, unless it's absolutely horrible and it's not a remake, if it's something completely original, it's really hard to put it down because it's a completely original idea. So it just comes down to, did the actors do their roles well? And did the script make sense? If you got those two formulas, you can't really put down a brand new IP of a movie and a brand new IP of a game because it's an original process. Then the second one is like, now can you continue and build upon the world you've created? At that point, expectations are high and people are just excited to see it continue.
I call that the Terminator effect. T1, most people don't ever talk about Terminator 1, right? Cool, it was there, it was cool, it was a horror movie, right? A lot of people.
Robotic car.
Glad that.
Yeah. T2 is still looked at as probably top 5 best modern sci-fi flicks to ever exist.
5 movies of all time.
T3,
Nobody
I can
talks
name
about
about a handful of people that like T3. And then everything after that has been T2. It just fucked everything.
You can't remake T2 like that anymore. It's
No.
unbeatable.
It's the same thing with
And
the
it
Star
holds up
Wars
so well.
saga. Everyone likes Star Wars, A New Hope.
Mhm.
And they're like, cool, great. Empire Strikes Back, everyone's like, absolute cinema. And then Return of the Jedi, they're kind of like, okay, all right, yeah, cool.
It ended.
And
At least you ended it.
Yeah. And the same thing with the X-Men movies. The X-Men, everyone was like, cool. Got to see everybody on screen. X2, not absolute cinema, but it was dang good.
So good.
And then
X3.
And then Last Stand, everyone was like, what the hell is this?
Same thing happened with the, I can't even call it remakes because they're all interconnected.
The time
again.
delusion ones.
Okay, yeah.
The First Class, people were like, oh, this is kind of cool. But okay. Days of Futures Past, because they interconnected everything. People were like, yep.
It's absolute cinema.
Ask somebody how they felt about X-Men Apocalypse.
Or Dark Phoenix.
Here's the thing about Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix really ain't that bad.
It isn't.
It's really not that bad. Dark Phoenix suffers from 2 very big things that a lot of people didn't realize about. The original enemy was supposed to be the Skrulls. Guess what Marvel had beef with? Marvel's like, y'all not using the Skrulls. Hell no. Fox, no. You're not using the Skrulls. Have fun. Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
And that is why the villains changed in Dark Phoenix. It was when Fox and Marvel had beef. And a lot of the things that Fox wanted to introduce in Dark Phoenix to make it work, Marvel wasn't having it. Y'all don't got that. And then to make it worse, you had some of the actors and actresses in the X-Men franchise for those movies that was like, yo, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm tired of this. Kill my character off. Now you end up getting killed with splinters.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an issue because usually by the, third game, unless it's Devil May Cry, that's where it went backwards.
Spin. Devil May Cry is one of the weirdest game series to do this. First one, gem. Second one, people hate the hell out of. Third one, most people don't even look back at the first and second one.
I also think too that people don't like Devil May Cry too. I know we're kind of going off in a tangent, but it does play in what we're talking about. But I think people get upset with Devil May Cry 2. Most of the time they're talking about the gameplay. But I'm like, okay, I get it. Gameplay. Was the story bad?
Yeah, it was. I played every Devil May Cry multiple times. Yes, it was.
See, I've seen it split down the middle where some people are like, no, the story wasn't bad. The gameplay was bad. And some people are like, no, the story was trash. The gameplay was trash. It was just trash.
I won't say the gameplay was trash. The problem with Devil May Cry 2, again, we know we're going in a tangent. However, it will lead back to the main point. Problem with Devil May Cry 2 is you can literally use the guns and go through the whole game with ease, right? Devil May Cry 2 did a very good thing at the end that didn't get addressed at first, and then it got retconned, and then it got addressed afterwards. Because originally, fun fact, people, Devil May Cry 4 took place before Devil May Cry 2 originally. And then Capcom, right before they dropped 5, was like, nah, Devil May Cry 4 takes place afterwards. Dante came out of hell. Huh? When was it? I got questions. When did he get out of hell? Where was the cookies? Where was the sandwiches? When did this happen? Right?
It was pretty clear that he was going to be there for a while. And then it's kind of funny because in 5 gets
addresses it.
Yeah. 5 addresses it, and then he winds up getting locked up again.
Back in hell.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so is this going to be our new thing? Like, don't get me wrong. I love Devil May Cry 5. I love Devil May Cry 4. I love the series as a whole.
Part of that renaissance, an absolute gem.
I do think, and this breaks my heart to even say, but I do think the series would benefit by ending it with the 6th game.
Yeah.
And letting...
Hell, you could technically end it with 5.
I mean, yeah,
you're not going to like it, but you could end it with 5.
I mean, if you've beaten 5, it could just end that way. But I know because, let's be honest, the fan favorites are Virgil and Dante. So people are going to want a conclusion, a true conclusion to their story at least. And if you wanted to do spinoffs, that's fine. But you have to let Virgil and Dante go. Let them go.
No.
Let them go.
They can't.
Nope.
Like,
I don't know why you said that. Why did you fix your lips to even say such things, sir?
Because I know people struggle with letting characters go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no.
We gotta let go sometimes, people. We gotta let them go.
Absolutely not. This isn't. Never mind. I can't say that. That was going to be dark. I cannot say that.
I know I'm stirring a pot here. Like I said, it would break my heart as well the day they finally say Devil May Cry is done. And I'll be like, but you said, I know what I said.
No, man, it's going to be sad because you never know when one of these games come out is the last one of that series. Even though they could continue it. They could be like, well, we're just scrapping it.
I think the only series you can have a predictive ending to is God of War. If you know how many mythologies are out there that they could use, you could get a guesstimation of when God of War would probably come to an end.
So I was ready for Japan.
Yeah, God of War Japan. When I saw that was finally official, I was like, here we go. Let's do this.
And that is a series, going back to what we originally said, that got better with age.
Yes. It definitely has gotten better with age. It doesn't try to reinvent it. It reinvented itself, but at the same time, it's still stuck to its roots. Yeah, it's still stuck to its core while adapting to the times, while adapting to the changes of video games. It didn't try to... Some video games try to force us to remain in that bubble that they started with. And I know a lot of fans, they work in the opposite. They get upset when a dev adapts to the times. Looking at you, Final Fantasy community. And they're like, how dare you change the game that I came in with? And I'm like, well, if you actually do your homework, you will realize that Final Fantasy has always been limited and changed and forced to just work with the technology they had.
No, give me back my turn-based. No,
and
give it back. Give
here's
it back
the
my
thing,
turn-based.
and I'm talking to you as a Final Fantasy fan myself. I'm talking to y'all Final Fantasy fans. As soon as that turn-based game comes out that Square Enix is working their ass off on because y'all complained,
y'all are going to hate it.
If y'all don't make that the best-selling Final Fantasy in all of Final Fantasy history, I don't want to hear any of you complaining if they go back to an action-based formula. This is your chance to show that all that talk isn't just talk when that game finally comes out.
No.
Sick of it.
Here's a prime example of that. And I never really thought about it because I beat the game, but I never really put 2 and 2 together because I'm not a huge fan of these types of games. Did you know Square made a Souls-like Final Fantasy? They did. It's like 5 years now, or 4 years.
Not Strangers in Paradise.
Strangers in Paradise is a Souls-like. Yep. I just learned that. You base everything off your equipment, not off your level. You gain... If you die in certain parts of the game, you lose all that experience. You have to go back and get it, right? It's a Souls-like, but it's a limited Souls-like. You don't have that open range like most Souls-likes do, right? But come to find out, that was their attempt at a Souls-like game. and most people hate that game. I
Yeah.
don't mind it. It's not a bad game. However, you also know I don't like Souls games. I get annoyed with them, right? Yeah, I know. People are like, "Oh my god, you suck. You had to have a skill check." No, it's just I have a child. I don't got time to be sitting here
We don't
hyper
do that
fixated.
here in GZ unless your name is Daniel.
Yeah, I don't got time to be hyper fixated on a Souls game. No.
And you know, and as a Souls game enjoyer and that's
Mhm.
played all the Souls game, I
Enjoyer's
also
putting it
agree
lightly.
that you don't need every game to be a Souls-like game either. The same way every game doesn't need to be a battle royal like we talked about earlier. Not every game needs to be a Souls-like game either. Like, if you want to play a Souls-like game, there's already a ton out there. Knock yourself out. But devs, you don't have to imitate the FromSoft formula for all of your games either. Like,
Oh, that is a very niche market.
very
And
niche.
it only got
Mhm.
popular, I would say, with Elden Ring. It just skyrocketed. I would say Sekiro
Yeah.
actually skyrocketed.
Sekiro opened the door because it wasn't named Demon Souls, Dark Souls. People knew off rip because it was
In
in the
Japanese
name
mythology.
what it was. When
In
Sekiro
Japanese
came out,
mythology.
Yep.
they were like, "Oh, it's not a Souls game because it doesn't have Souls in the title." And then they got a Rude Awakening.
Neo and Sekiro,
Yep.
both of those benefited from one, not having that type of name, two, being about Japanese mythology. Those two games, if people would have knew from the jump what they were, I think people still would have played them, but they would have had a lot more caution with that game.
Yeah. I also
But
think
yeah.
people forced themselves to finishing it because at that point it was a matter of pride. It was
Yeah.
a matter of pride at that point. They're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I already
literally,
spent
I
the
There's no
money."
just
shame
learned
in
about
saying a
Strangers in
game beat
Paradise being
you.
a Souls-like, and I beat the game, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "This is a Souls-like? Ain't that about a bitch?"
They got me.
Like, it's not a bad game. I enjoyed it, but again, I don't feel like stressing myself out with a Souls game.
Not like the other two hosts, Greg here and Daniel, who's missing for a while. Miss you guys. They play the crap. He says enjoyer, but he's more of a lover because the amount of Souls-like games this guy plays is insane. The amount of times I'll log into PlayStation and it's like Bloodborne, Code Vein, Elden Ring. I'm like, this guy doesn't play any other games.
The amount of Souls games he has tried to convince me to play that I was like,
The
and
conversation
he has tried.
we're playing Monster Hunter, and like mid hunt, it's like, hey Ty, you should play Bloodborne with me.
No,
And then continue
absolutely
hunting the
not. I
monster.
refuse. No, here's the thing. I have played Bloodborne. He knows I played Bloodborne, and he knows how far I've gotten Bloodborne. For those wondering, it's pretty goddamn far. Never stressing myself out like that again. He saw me go through Demon Souls from beginning to end. I was an alcoholic at the time.
Demon Souls was Demon's Souls it was my first Souls game, like when it came out. And I bought it on a whim because I went to, at the time, EB Games, and I was just looking for something for my PS3. I didn't care what it was. This is what part of the joy of physical copies. Did the cover art catch my attention enough for me to read the back of it to see if it appealed to me? That
Yes.
part of window shopping as a gamer. And Demon Souls caught my attention. And at the time, I was like, I wanted to test my metal as a gamer. My first year, that game whooped me. I had to put it on the shelf. I was like, I can't do it. I'm never going to beat this game. And then I read an article where it was like, I think it was based on Japan, and they were like, they used Demon Souls as the bar at the time for who could call themselves a hardcore gamer. And they were like, since so few have beaten this game, this is the standard to be able to call yourself a hardcore gamer. And then at that point, it was a matter of pride. I was like, my pride is on the line here. I'm
never getting
beat this
bullied
game.
into beating a game ever again. Never again. I'm never getting bullied like that ever.
Now
again.
I don't. Now I'm older. I'm like, I got my crown years ago. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
That was my peak at that moment.
Yeah,
at this
I've
point,
been bullied by 2 games, and it was that and Bloodborne, and never again.
Yeah.
What about Armored Core? Weren't you into Armored Core?
I love Armored Core. Armored Core
Well, he
is not
loves mech
Souls-like.
games.
Armored Core
Yeah,
is
mech
a
games. Yeah, but still same.
Yeah, I'll play anything with a giant robot, bro.
Okay.
Anything.
No,
Yeah, it
But
don't
to
matter.
be fair, Ibis was bullying all of us.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know. I remember.
Yeah, I think that was more personal pride than
Mhm.
proving anything. And
No,
for
I have
me,
every
I just
Armored
wanted
Core
to,
game.
yeah, I just wanted to prove to myself that I could get the true ending in Armor Core.
Yeah, no. If it's a giant mech, I almost guarantee you, unless it's Mech Warrior, that's the only rare exception to this.
I'm glad you
If
added
it's a
it in
giant
because
mech in a
you know
game,
Daniel was gonna be like, "Excuse me."
yeah. Oh, I know. And eat a baguette. You know what I mean. Unless it's like Mech Warrior, anything else with a giant robot, I'm going to put my hands on at least once. At the very least once, right? PS3 era, there was a Dynasty Warriors Gundam series, and I
Oh,
bought
I
every
loved
last
it.
one of them.
Those games were so fun.
When they had a Gundam Battle Royale game, not Battle Royale. They had that Gundam hero shooter game. I got that, and I was so upset when they went out of business. Yeah, anything with a giant robot. Oh, sign me up. There is a game called Super Robot Century. Another Century Void, or
Another Century's episode.
yeah, that's what it was. On the PS3. I literally didn't understand a single word said in that game because I bought it
We
in
bought it the
Japan.
same
It only came
time.
out in Japan.
Yep.
I literally went out of my way to go on YouTube to find translated dialogue for that game to play it. Again, sucker for giant robots. Give me a mech and watch me go.
Another Century's episode R. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, because we both have the disc. Because he convinced me to get it, and I hadn't gotten into mech games that much, but that was one of the openers. And then I got into Armor Core and followed suit from there. Which, by the way, I keep forgetting to mention this to you, but another sleeper mech game that actually is really, really good. Megaton Musashi Wired. If you ever catch it on
Yeah,
sale,
I've heard.
really good. Super slept on. Super
Mhm.
slept on. I love
Why
that
you
game.
think I want? What the hell are you called? It was just announced. No, I feel like I'm saying. Starts with a D.
Not the Damon Machina.
No.
Yeah,
Is it? Because I know there was two games that had mechs in them. I forgot the
yeah.
other one.
There's two games.
The MMO one, right? God, what's the name?
Like
of
I
I was
said,
going to say the only
I
MMO that I
will-
can think of that came out, but actually people were a little disappointed was Mecha Break.
Yeah. So I am disappointed in it. However, more so my disappointment lies in the abusive battle pass system. And it's like, all right, cool. You're not a bad game. You're not a bad game. It's just, it's not what I expected. And I was just like, you know what? I'm cool on this. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah,
See it.
don't do it. Don't do it to yourself if you can avoid it. After that, I was like, I think I'll give it a year before I give it a try. I downloaded it. I haven't played it. I'll give it a year to see where it's sitting at because Synduality let me down. And I was a huge fan of the anime. And Synduality let me down so bad. And I'm like, and Bandai Namco's been kind of like on an upward, you know, they've been doing good, but it seems like they put out Synduality and then they didn't abandon it, but they're not listening to the community.
No.
And a lot of people have been saying
No.
you've got to adjust the PvP aspect because the only benefit is if you're a PvP player. And there's people that are, ganging up on casual players. And if you're playing for the PvE aspect, you're not equipped to deal with PvP. And these players know that. And you're doing all the, mining and extracting and playing it like you would casually, and then you just get sniped from somewhere halfway across the map by this PvP player, and then just come and take all your stuff. And a lot of people, well, it's an extraction. Yes, but the thing is, the imbalance is so massive, and people have utilized the mechanics in unintended ways.
Right.
So yeah, Synduality, that broke my heart because I had such high hopes for that game, such high hopes, but Gamescom gave me hope.
Hollow Knight Silk Song better come out this year. I'm
Yeah,
tired.
he's like,
I'm tired.
He wanted a date.
I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of
It's
you
this year,
announcing
man.
something.
It's this year.
Jesus Christ, dude! Every year, it's like, oh, we have a new trailer. Cool. Soon. How
Yeah.
soon?
This year.
Soon.
This year, man. This year.
It says this. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll believe it when it comes out. When I have the
I start
download
getting my
ready.
hopes up with games like that.
They said it at
Okay.
Gamescom, man. They said this year for sure.
This year,
Mhm.
soon, yeah. Can we talk about the biggest disappointment though? I
Still
don't know
no?
how people got hyped.
Black
No.
Ops,
Yeah,
Black Ops 7.
yeah. How many I've seen? Have you remember we watched the trailer together and we both were
Mhm.
like, "Why is it boring?
It was
Why is it?"
so
When it
underwhelming.
comes to this, usually
I
their
don't want to
trailers
say
are hot.
boring.
Hey,
I don't
what?
necessarily want to say boring. It's
Underwhelming,
underwhelming
predictable.
would be a good choice of words. Like I told y'all when we were texting, I was like, this just feels like Advanced Warfare with updated graphics. And like, yeah, I get it. Advanced Warfare ended up finding its niche and people loved it. The problem is Advanced Warfare was new and fresh and no one expected it. Everybody kind of was just like, we were asking y'all for a direct sequel to Black Ops 2 13 years ago. Why now? We know why now because, they're trying to get money and they don't want to do anything innovative because, well, hey, let's face facts. We just dropped all this money on Activision. We need this profit back. I feel like people need to come to terms that Black Ops 6 was a failed experiment and that Black Ops 7 was really what they wanted to drop, but they didn't know how to do it. And they wanted to see if 6 would have worked. And the fact that 6 didn't get the hype that they were so used to, it's now like, all right, cool, scramble. Let's figure out what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Because when's the last time you seen COD do back to back the same series? Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, right? And the only reason why they did it like that, because originally Modern Warfare 2 was supposed to be a 2-year long update, not the 1 year. And then they got shady and they were like, all right, this is now a new game.
Yeah, I was going to say they pulled a Destiny and they split 2 basically not in half, but like the latter, what could have just been a DLC,
and
then sold it as a completely brand new game. They were like, "Oh well, Bungie got away with it, so we can get away with it."
And it did not.
Yeah, they're still getting joked on to this day about it, but yeah. But what games did you guys see at Gamescom that you are excited for? We listed some of our favorites, so we'd love to hear what you guys are looking forward to. And what do you have up for potential game of the year this year? It's going to be, I think this Game Awards show is actually going to be really interesting because
no, it's going to piss people off.
Yeah. It's gold.
It's going to piss people off because it's going to be a single player game.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, if it's not Clair Obscur, then we lost.
I don't want to say it's Clair Obscur yet. There's a reason, and
that,
you will see why in a couple months.
Yeah.
There's 2 games I think that might get Clair Obscur.
Clair Obscur comes out very, very strong, but it seems like a lot of devs were sitting on their golden egg to the last minute.
It's a fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It's a third or fourth quarter.
And now they're throwing it all out there. So it's gonna be probably one of the craziest game awards in the last few years. One that actually
because I could see Ghost of Yotei sneaking up and doing something that a lot of people did not expect.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's Nintendo doing what they do every time, and they're gonna drop something that was a silent little banger, even though people are claiming it's Donkey Kong.
Yeah, no, Nintendo's gonna do something like they did with
Metroid
Mario
Prime 4.
game. Yeah, Metroid. If they drop Metroid at the last second, that could be the turner for them.
And they announced it this year. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll believe it when I see it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to necessarily say it's going to be Clair Obscur, even though that has been my favorite game of this year. I can literally see, hey, these 2 sleepers just came out. Good luck. Have fun.
I would say, though, to Sandfall, if they are able to make it to the finals, even if they don't win, that's a huge pat on their back. Huge pat.
Huge.
Like, they're really amazing.
You guys are on the list for Game of the Year.
RPG of the Year, though. I do think they have RPG.
Yeah, I think they can say that comfortably. And definitely in the musical score, I don't see anyone beating them.
They're probably going to get RPG of the Year unless Final Fantasy Tactics. The amount of people that don't know about
opened
Tactics,
the door for Elden Ring and Resident Evil opened the door for remasters and stuff like that to
DLCs.
Yeah, to be nominated. Otherwise, Tactics wouldn't have even been it wouldn't even been allowed.
Get what you're saying, but I also think that Tactics, because of how long it's been and that weird gap and stretch between the two,
20 years.
that a lot of people never played tactics. I genuinely feel a lot of people never touched tactics. And
Because
then
that
with
came out
games
when
like,
we were kids.
yeah, with like games like Unicorn Overlord and stuff like that, with those type of strategy games, I feel like Final Fantasy Tactics is about to have a field day.
Yeah,
So
could see
I
that.
can honestly see a lot of struggle with RPG. I still think Claire has it, but I do see potentially, well, this came out of nowhere. Well, this is, and then next thing you know, Final Fantasy is the one that snuck up in there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
don't
next
let
thing you know,
Atlas
Monster
drop
Hunter
a
Wild
Persona.
Twins out of nowhere.
That would be crazy. That
Don't
would
let
be
Atlas
crazy.
drop Persona.
But so many games coming out. And we covered a lot in this episode. We talked
Yeah,
about.
I can't wait for Persona 5 version 2 or something. What was that comment I
Wait, but
read?
it's the comments that were on that.
Oh my god,
it
what was that
ridiculous.
comment?
It was ridiculous.
Someone said
People
it's like, I hope they announce Persona 5 too. I'm like, wait, what?
doesn't even make sense.
How does that
doesn't
work?
even make sense.
How does that work?
But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Battlefield 6? Do you agree with the streamers? Do you not agree with the streamers? What are your thoughts on Gamescom? Are there any games you're looking forward to? Let us know in the comments. If you check this out on YouTube, or hit us up on the website, GZChopShopPodcast.com, to share your thoughts. And make sure to check out our past episodes. We've had some amazing interviews with people in the gaming industry that work behind the scenes, that are helping build these phenomenal games that you guys are pretty much investing money in and investing your time in. So if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, check out some of our past episodes with these interviews for amazing insights you're not going to get anywhere else. And also visit our store. You can check that link out in the description for this episode. See, we're repping some new merch. Repping some new merchandise. So make sure to go and check that out as well. Anyway, we're out of here. Take care of yourself and each other, and we'll catch all you amazing people on the next podcast.
Daniel.